What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is an absolute banger as we head to Austin, Texas for the USGP, the second one of the season. The first one was in Miami and now we've moved across to the east for Texas. As here we can start our final lap in Q1. This is the first time on the F1 game that I've ever driven this circuit and I'm super excited to see how well we can do around here. We got a sprint as well, which is actually forecast to be a full wet race. Heavy rain forecasted for the sprint, and I'm ready to see how well we can adapt to the conditions on such a new track. As we are 1/10 up in our final lap in Q1, and we actually need this lap to count because we're P16 at the moment, and coming out the final corner we do gain time to make it up to about 4/10 gained overall and puts us up into P11, and hopefully that'll be good enough to see us through into Q2. But other people still have times to set. We were the first to cross the line and I don't think we've made it. No, we're not. We're P21, only ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, who's had an absolute stinker in Austin. Very unlike him, but oh dear, Daniel Ricciardo, awful from him, but even worse from us. We're P21. As we start the formation lap here, we're P20. I still can't believe it. We clearly couldn't adapt very well, and as you'll notice here, we are on inters, the rest of the grid on full wet tyres. Now the strategy screen said that wets are 6/10 faster, but I do not like the wets. So I've gone for the intermediate tyres, as we proved in Monza. It's going to 5 red lights. With the sprint here in Austin, it's lights out and away we go. And grip initially does not seem too bad. So we head towards turn 1. Daniel Ricciardo tries to squeeze between me and Joe. We're not having any of that, as we have to brake quite early, as there's a sort of massive Constantina effect. As then we're going to go around the outside about 4 or 5 cars. And from P21, we're up to P16 already. So good start from us, and Nico Hulkenberg now ahead of us, as we're going to dance the car round the outside of Nico Hulkenberg. What a move on Hulkenberg. Give a bit of contact, then go off the track. Have to take to the escape road there, but we maintain the position on Hulkenberg and are in P15. And now Yuki Tsunoda in the AlphaTauri and then Kevin Magnussen in the Haas are up ahead as we head towards the first straight, the first real long straight. We go down the inside of 3 cars, going to neutral gig downside of Magnussen, Tsunoda and Bottas. A triple overtake on the Alpine, the Haas and the AlphaTauri, and up into P12. These inters are really proving well in these first opening laps here in Texas, as Bottas really overtakes us. We're going to dive down the inside. We can brake much later than the Finn, but that may also be due to our aero and powertrain and chassis rather than the actual tyre, but I'm not going to complain either way. So now Lance Stroll is up ahead and we need to overtake him quickly and then we move on to the big cars of Esteban Ocon and then Pierre Gasly, who's in the Alpine. And now lap 2, our first chance to overtake Lance Stroll on the straight, surely, as we brake, and we're going to go for the move down the inside. I did not see that coming. I do not know why the AI are braking so early into that corner here in the wet conditions, but I'm here for it. And we move up ahead of Stroll into P11, and now Esteban Ocon, we gain on him, we gain on the Mercedes, and I thought we might brake checkers there. The racing line showed red, so we had to sort of brake or lift off there, which we did, and that cost us the move on Ocon. But now we will be able to surely get past him. We have much more grip than the Mercedes man, who seems to be struggling a bit, as we're going to go down the inside into this lovely left-hander and up into P10. Points if it were a real race, but it's only a sprint, so points only awarded for the top 8 in Charles Leclerc, currently claiming the final points position. And now Pierre Gasly, we need to overtake. He sort of dropped off from Leclerc. We're going to go for the move down the inside of the Frenchman and up into P9 just. But Gasly's going to fight us actually, but no, we get much better traction on exit and we overtake Gasly up into P9. Now Charles Leclerc in P8 is ahead, and we have a chance to get points from P21 on the grid. This would be a mega recovery if it was possible, and we do overtake Leclerc up into P9, as now Sergio Perez is the next man, as we got ERS on him. Sainz going for the move on Russell. We're gaining. We're going to go for the move down the inside. Oh, we braked so late and we cost for it. We go deep, and that's going to cost us so many positions. We were P8. We're now down to P12. Oh, dearie me. One RTG Sport car flying high in Oscar Piastri, currently leading the race, which is showing us why we signed him. He's one race in, I believe it was France. No, not France. I can't remember which race, but he's already won a race. And we go deep again. No. We go deep again, and we made our way back up to P11, but we have to go off track, and we go down to P14 as we start the penultimate lap, and that is not ideal, as we now have to go to defensive from Kevin Magnussen. But as I was saying, Piastri flying high, leading the race at the moment from the two McLarens, the team he left, and we're down here in P14. So good thing Piastri's there when we're not to win those races, because it has been a very Max Verstappen-esque dominant season. As now we're on the last lap of the race, and we're going to make the move past Yuki Tsunoda and up into P12, so salvage something out of this race at least. It should be points. It's going to be nothing in the end. We're on the last lap. We won't be able to overtake Stroll in time, I don't think. And Tsunoda was dispatched off quickly and already is a 1 second behind us. So we seem pretty stone in for P12 here in this sprint. It was wet though, and it tells me a lot about the track, how it's going to be for tomorrow's race on the dry. In the dry, Oscar Piastri wins for RTG Sports, his first win in our car, doing what Felipe Drugovich could not, and we come home in P12. It's usually the other way around. It's usually us in P1 and our teammate down in P12. Got a bit of a taste of what that was like today, but we will completely and 100% take a P12 from P21. And Oscar Piastri collects 8 points and the sprint win. I hope he can do that in the race as well. Good race, good sprint that. This shows why we should keep sprints on the calendar. As we check out the overall standings, I believe it was Alonso who came in P2 with Norris in P3. Yes, Verstappen hangs on to P4 ahead of Sainz. Russell down to P6 from pole position. Piastri was on the front row actually. Russell dropped down the order and we move up into P12 for the race. And Drugovich down to P19. He made it through to Q2, which was very unlike him. And in the standings, Russell closed the gap by 3 points to us, so only 105 points. But now let's head to the race, where Piastri starting on pole on the soft tyres. We are also going to go on the soft tyres. We're going to do a soft to medium, which actually the majority of people on the soft tyres. And we are going, and a couple on the mediums. I believe Carlos Sainz is actually on the mediums as well, up ahead, and Yuki Tsunoda behind us. So he shouldn't really be an issue off the start. Russell, though, will be looking at him. You'll notice we're starting P11, not P12. That's because Alexander Albon had a penalty, a 5-place grid penalty, which dropped him behind us for the race, although did not count for the sprint. As we're going to get to 5 red lights now, hopefully. Here we go then, 5 red lights for the Texas Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. Russell bogs down the start. We're going to overtake him immediately. Ocon and Stroll also fighting for it. We're going to go down the inside of many of them doing what Verstappen did on pushing Sainz wide into turn 1 in real life 2023. We're going to go by ourselves on the inside, as now we are up into P8 already inside. Oh my days. A little twitch from Sainz, but it's really unsteady, and that's going to maybe allow Stroll an opening for Stroll. No, we shut that out. As now Sainz, like I guessed, yet he is on the medium tyre, so we should be able to, now with good grip, we should be able to get past the Ferrari as soon as possible. As now, going on to the straight, we have much more grip than the Ferrari, and you can see that through the corners. Can we maybe go for a move with ERS on the Ferrari with Slipstream? We're gaining on him. We're gaining on him. It looks like he's pulling away, but the timing sheets which says we're gaining, as now we certainly are gaining. We're going to go to the move on the inside, no, round the outside. Sainz defends to the inside, and he breaks so late there. I thought he was going to go for a move on Perez, but no. We go for a switchback, but our snap of oversteer prevents that, and Sainz does well to defend from us on lap 1. But I'm sure he'll have another... We'll have another chance into turn 1 and then on into turn 12, I believe, is the back straight. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I probably am. And now, Carlos Sainz, we're going to go for the move. He's left a bit of a gap open on the outside. They could go to the inside, and no, Sainz defending extremely well, doing a very smooth operation here in Texas, just like he did in Melbourne in 2024 earlier on in the season, IRL. And now this might be his final chance to defend from us because we're gaining. We need to get past Sainz as soon as possible and fight with other soft runners. We're gaining. Sainz goes to the inside. We go to the outside. No ERS, pure slipstream, and we're going to move past the Ferrari, brake much later on the soft tyres because we can. Sainz fights us again and does get ahead of us, but we are still there. And on the inside, we are going to re-overtake Carlos Sainz and up into P7 with a pretty textbook overtake, but it should have been done a lot sooner. Oscar Piastri, by the way, he still leads from pole position. He's actually put quite a big gap to the Ferrari, to the McLaren of Fernando Alonso. So we're going to go round the outside of Sergio Perez. I did not see that coming. I was commentating something else. As now we're going to go wheel to wheel with Perez and up into P6. What a move. We just braked and Perez braked so much earlier. And we just danced it round the outside. And up into P6. And now Charles Leclerc is ahead of us. And now it's a lap 7 and Leclerc has managed to pull away from us. We just couldn't really hang on enough and we couldn't overtake him because he had DRS off Verstappen, and that could allow Sainz to overtake Perez. The medium's now becoming the better compound of race stars. Sainz going for the move into time one. Perez shoots one round the outside, hits us. I thought about a little move on Carlos Sainz there, decided against it, and now Perez, we're going wheel to wheel, but we get ahead of the Mexican. As now Sainz, we are all over the back of him, but I think Sainz's tyres are just a bit better than ours now, as we are beginning to struggle on the soft tyres, which worked so well for us at the start of the race. But we're going to still try and re-overtake Sainz and go back up into P6 before our pit stop. We're going to go round the outside of the Ferrari. Sainz braking so late we are, and we do make the move, re-overtaking Sainz up into P6. And hopefully this time we can keep it. But I'm sure Sainz will have something to say about that. But we will be pitting, I believe, at the end of next lap. As Leclerc now 3 seconds ahead of us. I can't see us catching him, to be honest. We're going to have to do something extraordinary with these tyres to catch Leclerc. I think our tyres are the worst on the grid. Or worse compared to those in front of us. Because we are a lot... we pushed them so much at the start of the race to overtake them. As we go wide again, and that shows how much we're struggling. And that's going to allow Sainz to re-overtake us into turn 1. We're going to squeeze him though, but not much we can do about it. As Sainz re-overtakes us into turn 1, we're going to brake late though and go back down the inside. Ooh, just Perez though. Perez, he thought about a little move on both of us there. Not having any of it, but we do overtake Sainz with a little collision as well. And up into P6, and now but Sainz is going to want to re-overtake us, as is Sergio Perez. I did not see that coming, as Perez going for the move round the outside. Is he still there? They've both overtaken us. We've lost 2 positions in one. We're going to have to hang it around the outside of Perez, go off track a bit, but we do keep position on Sergio Perez, but we've lost out to Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari, and that is our call. That is our cue to box at the end of this lap. Piastri still leads and he goes on for another lap on the soft tyres. So that's very interesting. Maybe he's nursed his tyres better, but we do pit this lap and this is going to need to be a good stop because we're going for the undercut on those ahead, on Charles Leclerc, who I actually believe has pit as well. So maybe no undercut for us. Yeah, Leclerc has pit as well, but no undercut for us then. But we're still going to have to try and get an undercut on Carlos Sainz as we turn in. We need a good stop from the crew. And it is a very good stop. 2.3 seconds. That will absolutely do as we come out the pit lane. Our aim is to be in clean air. And that is, it seems, because everyone else behind us has pit, we're in clean air. Excellent. We're 6 seconds behind Charles Leclerc. But now we can push on these tyres. And so can he. But we need to get these tyres warm as quickly as possible out the pit lane. And get up past Sainz when he pits, and as does Sergio Perez. Oscar Piastri also will be pitting at the end of this lap, I believe. And here we are then, lap 12. We've actually caught up to Leclerc, who's been stuck. Alonso as well we've caught up to. They've both been stuck by this AlphaTauri. Daniel Ricciardo, we could go for the move on Leclerc. A little moment for Leclerc. And we're going to swoop past Leclerc and up into P 6. Leclerc tries to fight back, but we're having none of it. But we have overtaken the Ferrari, who was 6 seconds ahead of us coming out the pit lane. And wow, that was incredible. And now with DRS, we're going to show Leclerc how to overtake the AlphaTauri with DRS. And we're going to fly past Daniel Ricciardo. But Leclerc, he couldn't get past Ricciardo, made a little mistake, and we took full advantage of that. And now Fernando Alonso, the man who finished second in the sprint, is now behind Max Verstappen. He's not had the best of races. Maybe he got stuck behind Ricciardo a bit too long. He's 1.6 seconds ahead of us. If we can push on these tyres, we might be able to, and use the ERS, we might be able to catch up to him if possible. But at the moment, lap 14, there's a yellow flag behind us. I think that was for Nico Hulkenberg retiring the lap before. But there's a yellow flag in front of us as well. I'm not sure what that's for. This is a McLaren Norris has won it. There's a full course safety car. Wow, a drama at the end of this race then. We're up to P4. Alonso's on the podium. Norris has spun it. And that's gifted Felipe Drugovich the lead. And as you'll notice, that gives us a new strategy option. We are going to pit at the end of this lap. These mediums have not worn as little, have worn too much for us, and we know how much we love the soft compound tyre in the opening laps here in Texas. So we're going to pit for fresh soft compound tyres, and our aim is to come out ahead of Magnussen in the Haas. But in front of that gaggle of cars being tail-ended by the Alfa Romeos, as we come in, we're going to need a good stop from the team. It's a 2.3 second stop. That will absolutely do. As we come out the pit lane, Perez will overtake us, I believe. And Magnussen, will he overtake us as well? Bottas has got a 5-second penalty. I'm not sure what for, but we have timed this absolutely perfectly. To perfection. We are ahead of Kevin Magnussen. And now we're going to need to catch up to the safety car as quickly as possible, because we want this safety car to come in as soon as possible. And it does on lap 16. We're going to go racing again. Lap 17, and then 3 more laps. 4 more laps of racing we go in Texas on fresh soft tyres versus many old medium and hard tyres. And Perez is the first man. We get a much better exit than him off the final corner. And we're going to go round the outside of Sergio Perez and up into P8. Good move from us. And that's the first step. We were in P4, remember, before the safety, when the safety car came out. So we're going to need to make up for that as much as possible. And Carlos Sainz on old hard tyres, so this shouldn't really even be a contest by the time we actually catch up to him. As now we get a good exit out of the corner, and Sainz is only 5 seconds away, so we could set up a move on the straight as we brake much later than the sides. And we're actually going to dance. Can we dance the car around the outside? We can. We get a huge snap of oversteer as well. Now we're going wheel to wheel with Carlos Sainz on the hard tyres. We're on fresh soft, and we move up into P7. What a move round the outside. Ferrari over the Scuderia Ferrari and Carlos Sainz. Really happy with that move. Incredible. Just a snap of oversteer as well. Managed to control it. Incredible. Now George Russell is up ahead. And can we now go for the move? We get a much better exit. Russell squeezes us and we fight our way past Russell and up into P6. So we're already making so many moves on drivers and different cars. These soft tyres, incredible around here. As now we are looking at the back of Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin. Oscar Piastri, by the way, still leads under the safety after the safety car restart, and hopefully he will win this race. I'd love it if he does, but we need to make the most of these soft tyres. We need to get past Lance Stroll, and here we go then into turn 1. Stroll lots slow. I thought maybe going for a move round the outside. No, just a bit too far back to go for the move on Lance Stroll. But now we get a much better exit. A much better exit than Lance Stroll. We're going to go wheel to wheel in the S's, and we're going to get past Lance Stroll in sector 1 of all places. No DRS, just pure ERS. And in the curves, in the S's, we overtake Lance Stroll and up into P5. And now Leclerc in P4 is up ahead. The man who was directly behind us, the man who we overtook due to Ricciardo's great defense. We're now going to hopefully re-overtake with ERS, gaining with slipstream, gaining. We're going to go for the move down the inside, and this is a pretty textbook overtake. No DRS activated yet, but we've only got 2 more laps after this one to overtake Alonso and Verstappen, if we can overtake Alonso and Verstappen, because they are in Verstappen's case, over 1 second ahead of us, but we are flying at the moment with purple middle sector, and we are going for the fastest lap of the race as well, without even DRS. This would be incredible if we pull this off. Our fastest lap was a 35.6 prior to this, and it was the fastest lap of the race before Norris beats it, but now, can we maybe set a new one as we go round the final corner? We're all over the back of Alonso now. We get a much better exit, as now we set the fastest lap of 1:35.1. That's a brilliant lap from us. 3/10 faster than Norris's fastest lap before, as we head towards turn 1, the penultimate lap of the race. We need to try and get past these guys as quickly as possible, and they're both very good at defending. As we go onto the back straight, Alonso will have the DRS, but we are all over the back of Fernando Alonso. So now we've got DRS, as does he, but we've got a much better engine, a much better exit, and we're using our ERS. We're going to fly past Fernando Alonso and up into P2. Maybe can we have a Verstappen as well? No. I thought about a massive dive bomb on there. Alonso does fight us though, but we keep the position. I thought about a dive bomb on Verstappen, but decided against it. Wasn't worth the risk, especially now we're up into P3 from P21 in qualifying. As now Verstappen is the last man we need to overtake to go for P2 and bring home a 1-2 for us as we start the final lap of the race. Verstappen 5/10 ahead of us, but we will have DRS on him, and we've got fresher tyres, but the AI love to save their battery for the last lap, but I think we can definitely negate that with enough powers. We gain on Verstappen, we gain on Verstappen, we gain on Verstappen. As we head towards turn 1, we're going to go to the inside. Verstappen doesn't cover it enough, and we're going to move up into P2, and it's a 1-2 at the moment for RTG Sports. Oscar Piastri is the man in P1. The man we signed for one specific reason, to get him more race wins, and he is going to do that. 1.2 seconds is the gap. We can't get the race win, but I'm not worried about that, because Oscar Piastri, the man from Australia, is going to come home to win the Texas Grand Prix. We come home in P2 from P21 on the grid to bring it home for a 1-2 for the RTG Sports. What a race, what a drive, and Piastri with his second win in Formula 1 and his first in an RTG Sports car. Come on! What a race, what a drive. We get driver of the day as well, excellent, from P13, from P12 in the sprint. So then it's P1 for Piastri in the sprint and in the race. What a drive from him. We claim 19 points to come home in 4th overall for the weekend, behind Verstappen and Alonso, and of course our teammate, the race winner. I still can't believe what Piastri's done there. We claim the fastest lap as well, which is excellent. In terms of the standings, Piastri moves up into P6 with that double win. We lead Russell by 118 points, and we could clinch the championship next time in Mexico if it is possible. And that is going to be it for this episode. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time for the Mexico Grand Prix. Super excited for it. We've got some long straights there. See you guys then. Goodbye.